Oh, hey guys, this is Skyryuu. Mush mush eh?
Wow.
Sky-
So we just ain't no action, ain't no we going, nothing. It's just okay.
Mush mush eh? Skyryuu here, representing S plus Gaming. I'm gonna use that intro for my Pokemon Professor
No,
YouTube channel.
as you should. Mushy mushy. In fact, you should have a little phone too. Mushy mushy.
Yes. Because I don't know. You know how people be like, "What's up, guys?" And I'm like, "Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome." So that's really cool. All right, but let's get into it. I don't know. So we're just talking. So speaking of which, did you see the Akuma trailer?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I saw it.
Mm.
And I immediately sent it to my friends. I sent it to Herman and my little brothers and stuff. And I was like, check out this bitch.
Yes.
I was like, they stay trying to make Akuma look like he running the game, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, but he got straight up like appeal.
I'm really excited for Akuma though, like especially when I thought the trailer was gonna be finished, when it was finished. And I was like, this dude got 5 supers. Where's the Raging Demon? Like he got about 18 of these supers, he could juggle shit. And then the Raging Demon came out. I was like, yo. So yeah. He really does be looking still like, hey, I'm still the boss of this bitch. For real.
I love how excited people get over, this fade that happens in the darkness. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna punch you out and you're not gonna see it. That's how fast it is. But like, I mean, we already knew it was gonna be there. I mean, of course, everybody's looking for him. He a fan favorite. I feel like Akuma is that guy that, especially for Street Fighter, he has become. They're gonna release him when they feel like the game is starting to drag a little, and they
Mm.
need to basically reintroduce it to the world to say, "We that ish." I understand you enjoying Taken right now, but we got Akuma.
Ah.
When we did that whole cross platform, when nobody fucking with Akuma.
Mm.
So here you go. Cause we gave you the poison Asian lady. Oh, she cute. We gave you the white boxer, wear Balrog.
Ah.
Free my guy Balrog,
Yes.
aka Tyson, aka the one true boxer of Street Fighter,
That's right.
aka champion, aka apparently the one that makes everybody else feel strong. Because when they knock him out, guess what he is? He black. But but like, I mean, but the thing is like, but whenever they release Akuma, it comes with a vibe or a feel. He
Mm.
is the Darth Vader of Street Fighter.
Ah, yeah, that is true.
Like when you see him, it's a wrap. He got fireballs in the air. He got fireballs on the ground. He got uppercuts in the air. He got uppercuts on the ground. Like he everywhere. So he is that guy.
He got fake outs, sweet combo enders, shit that's juggling. I'm like, I don't even know this is supposed to be in the mechanics of the game. So this makes me feel like they've combined Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 3, some third strike shit all up in here. So I'm really excited to play some cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of the things I will say that I'm not a big fan of is how you actually get the characters in the new Street Fighter game.
How do you
As far as I know, there is no way to unlock them naturally through playing the game. You do have to pay for them. So either you would have had to have bought the season pass, or you have to buy them one at a time when they're released. And then there's also the issue of, where they're like, oh, but you can rent them and try them out for free.
uh-huh.
But renting them and trying them out for free is 1 hour playtime.
What the hell?
And they know as well as I do, as someone who plays fighting games versus someone who has made them probably for decades, they should know better than I do. An hour is just enough to kind of get a taste of it,
Mhm.
but then after that, you're like, well, what was the point?
That's a good point. I see. I didn't even feel it because because I wanted to avoid that feeling. I ended up getting the deluxe season pass or whatever, where you get everything automatically as long as you pay 120 something ridiculous dollars.
So what you're saying is you pre-bought the characters.
Yeah, I pre-bought the cards.
You already bought them.
Yeah,
So you bought them anyway.
I bought them anyway.
So you paid for them.
Yep.
All right, I'm glad you're realizing that now, because you may not feel that way now, but you wrote that check, which means you're part of the problem.
Y- Yeah, I had to buy them because I didn't want to deal with it up front, like in real time. Be like, oh, I gotta pay to download this, like this other basic carbon copy, wannabe carbon copy character
Hmm.
that doesn't do as well. I don't like, I don't like the white milk boxer guy a
Oh,
lot.
Ed, he cold though.
He is cool,
He cold. He cold.
and I do like the cut and the moves, but I don't like him as much as the like. I want to see Balrog in the game. I want to see Vega in the game.
Yeah. He's been missing in action for a minute. But see, but that's I feel like is the issue is that like even though you bought the season pass, this season will end. So they're gonna get even more money from you. And the thing is like you can name characters all day that you would like to have,
Mm,
right now. But if they don't introduce those characters in season one, because they know the numbers, they have the statistics, they know which characters are more likely to draw people in from day one
uh,
versus ones that keep them playing up until 5 years from now.
that's a good.
And so, and of course, they're going to introduce new characters here and there, but they're always going to hold on to some of those, classics. You can't hold on to Akuma too long because then people are like, oh, I quit playing because they playing with my money and my emotions because I ain't put Akuma out. Akuma been out there since day one.
Mm,
You'll never have a Street Fighter game without a Zangief from day one because
that's true.
even though people love the shit on Zangief, Zangief out here putting in work. He putting up numbers. Same for Chun Li, Ryu. That's core cast.
Mm,
But then there are some players out there where Vega is core cast.
mm,
There are some players out there where M Bison is core cast.
mm,
But they have a story to maintain. And so, of course, there's the slow matriculation where they bring out these characters and they introduce some of these newer characters in there. But once this season ends, they're betting they're going to fill up that next roster with some of those core classics that
mm.
force you to say, okay, I know I already spent $100+ on this one game. Let me go ahead and invest another 50, 60. That's a whole nother game.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That makes me think about when you were talking about that. That makes me think about what kind of story they're going for. And I haven't watched the lore. I haven't read the lore, but what kind of story they're going for with was this Luke? He's the new
He's a new guy.
he's
Yeah.
the new guy. Okay.
Popeye. And the big arms and big legs. He don't never miss a leg day or arm day. But I guess he forgot to get the middle part right. So his core weak. You hit him in the stomach, you fold like paper. So okay. But yeah, Luke.
Yes. It's so accurate. That's the thing.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
he's shaped weird.
He was designed by you can always tell when there was nepotism involved. The children of the CEO came in and said, "Oh, look what I made. Oh, is that Popeye? No, this is Luke, Daddy. This is Luke. All right, put it in the game because that's who we want to follow." Or maybe they did like a random composite, and then they were like, since you can make your own character, they were like, some of the characters people make are gonna be so shitty. Let's not show them up.
Yeah.
Let's make an equally shitty designed character whose clothes don't fit his body and have him pretend to teach me anything about martial arts
Mm.
when I already know Chun Li in Chinatown. I'm sure he Honda rolling around here somewhere. I got so many other people I could be talking to. I mean, I know Ryu old broke ass ain't in town, but I'm pretty sure I'd find him before I'm squaring up with you and your dojo against this no name person that you supposed to lead me through a story that don't make sense.
Luke got his clothes from Old Navy. It's like, you thought that shit never fit properly. Like,
Yeah,
like
he got it from the what is it? The warehouse. Like that's where they sent the clothes that weren't quite finished yet. So
mhm.
he got it on sale. I'm just working out in them anyway. I'm out here street fight.
Well, speaking of which, then, so we've got Akuma. I wonder if he's going to be illegal for Evo. I'm not. I mean, he should
I
be.
mean, I would hope so. I mean, I feel like part of the reason they put him out this late is so that people can can play on that, and I doubt that. I mean, Evo would do that. I don't know if they have ever like banned him in the past, but
Hmm. Yeah, because they did a reveal in Japan this past weekend
at the Japanese Evo,
at Japanese Evo at
okay.
Evo Japan, and I don't think he was playable. Quite honestly, I don't know. I don't think he was playable,
I mean,
but
but to be honest,
mhm.
he dropped right during the event, basically, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
during the
mean,
event.
that makes sense. You can't. That'll almost be like cheating, you know.
Yeah. So I imagine maybe the Evo season starts when the US has Evo, and then Evo is like Evo Japan is the like this is that's the end of the season, like this
And
past
I'm pretty
Saturday,
sure
something
in
like
order
that.
for them to have something to drop as well that's equally as exciting, they'll probably have something for the US Evo.
Ah, that makes sense.
So that was the big release for the Japanese Evo because it could be that Akuma's just not that popular in the Japanese FGC.
Mm,
So, and it could be that, you know, they're like, oh, just in time for the American circuit.
mm,
So I feel like maybe that's part of it.
maybe.
But, you know, he that new hotness, you know.
I mean, he's looking really good. I have not been this excited to play Akuma for quite some time now. So I know Rio got buffed. Eve is out here looking spicy as ever. Okay.
Giving hugs.
Yes. Hugs, love everything. Oops. And then you got Akuma. Okay. I'll be messing everybody up with Akuma if I have the time to practice with them. So we are going to Evo, and you're gonna be there early for Evo?
We should. I think we're arriving like the day before, so we're gonna be there on the 18th, and I think it
Mm,
starts on the 19th. So that's the plan. Um, yeah, and we're just me personally. I'm focused more on kind of absorbing as much of the event as I can.
mm,
So it's not necessarily I'm not competing this year since this will be my first time going. So I want to be able to see as much as I can, record as much as I can, take photos with, um, you know, participate in a little bit of trash talking. I do have a couple people that I'm hopefully I want to kind of support in their goals to compete in Evo, and hopefully that would be something fun to bring back a championship at some point. I don't know if that jinxes it or anything, but if you good, you
hello.
good.
That's what I'm saying. Put it out there. So what's your like who you're supporting? Like what are you representing? Because I know you got a team that you're representing a brand.
Well, it's not necessarily a team. There is something that I am trying to grow. Right now, you know, code name A.G.L. I'm not
AGL.
putting it out there just yet. I do want to
Okay.
launch it kind of properly. And Evo, you know, if everything works out to be the first time that we publicly kind of go out, move out, it's kind of been this really underground fighting thing for the longest for a while. You know, mostly friends, family, of course, you know, local communities. But one of the things I've noticed that unless you're at like in like say California or New York or a larger city, you really don't have a gaming community foundation the way
Hmm.
that they have in larger cities.
Yeah.
You have the numbers, you have the people are playing, but you just don't have that community foundation.
Mm,
And what I mean by that are like locals that you can just go to, organized events where you can truly compete against people who are trying to take this serious, as well as against people who are just, you know, casual for fun players. And of course, on both sides of that, it's supposed to be for fun. But if your goal is to turn it into something bigger, you want to go up against people who are like minded, who also want to turn it into something bigger.
mm,
Um, and honestly, something like that, like, you know, the A.G.L as a whole, I feel like that would make for a much, that's a whole conversation. You know, that's a whole nother, yeah.
yeah, because in San Jose, California, actually in Santa Clara, there's this big scene, pretty much in the Bay, big scene in the Bay, where what's it called? YouthNet Cyber Cafe. You could go there. Everybody's playing Street Fighter from like 8 p.m. till freaking 3 a.m., 4 a.m. talking shit, talking trash,
Hmm.
eating pizza, and that's just where you go. You could play casually, and you could learn and get good, and
Hmm.
people give their tips. So that's something that you'd like to, I guess, foster here in this
Of course,
area.
yeah.
Yeah.
In Arkansas, I feel like we, not just in one corner of the state, but all over Arkansas, I think we all need that place. We need
Mm,
that third place, a place where you can get out of your house and you can go to actually, play against other people in real time, in
mm,
real life, not just online, not hidden away in your basement. And hosting like lane parties isn't really a thing anymore.
mm.
And then like competing in tournaments, at the local convention center, um, even those don't really work out because you just feel so isolated or unsure of what to do. So I just think, this is something that could really benefit, the state as a whole, but then also help to build community and build that foundation.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, well, that's exactly something I'd like to be doing or part of. I found that like whenever they did try something like that, it would I don't know if it would really pop off and then it eventually die out and then
If
they'd leave and
it
disappear.
fizzles, it fizzles
Fizzles.
because if you don't have someone that's really pushing for it to turn into, I love how that music's picking up in the background. It's epic. Even God is telling me that what I'm trying to do right now is, like, I mean, because you know what? I'm out here, I'm trying to build the gaming foundation for Arkansas the same way that Kanye West changed music.
Hello.
I'm, I'm about it. And I think that's what it is generally the reason it fizzles is because you have that one person who pulled together what little they had to build like and no disrespect, but the local little gaming shop or
Mm,
gaming center where they have a few tables. Then they have like countertops. They really don't have money for renovating, and then they have their like set customers, and then it becomes like that place that you try to hold on to, but there's never really anything in there that draws you in. It's
mm,
just like you want to support it, but how can you justify supporting it when they're not really giving you anything worth supporting? And
mm.
then when you try and build it on your own and you start to try and invite people out, you're like, hey, let's host like a fun tournament. Where do you host it? Who are you partnering with? How do we get sponsors? Do we even need sponsors? Whoa, you're trying to make this bigger than what it is. Then what's the point of us doing it? Oh, I don't think I want to be involved. This was your fucking idea. And then, that's kind of how it transitions into that sort of back and forth conversation. And then eventually you have people trying to host a League of Legends tournament with 8 people and 5 computers, you know, or, a Call of Duty, tournament, and you're like, well, we have just enough computers for everybody, but know where to plug them in. And, or we're going to host a Street Fighter competition and you have the same, 6 or 8 people who are always there show up. And eventually that just gets, a little tiresome. But if we can build something bigger, we can all support something bigger and get behind something that like matters in the grand scheme of things. I think that people would answer that call. I really do.
Got you. Speaking of grand scheme of things, then, what does that say for when players want to start? Like, say this blows up, right?
Mhm.
When players want to start becoming pros or they have a brand to manage and all this and that. Like, it doesn't seem like players seem to be aware of that. Take, for instance, Punk the God.
Uh-huh.
I sent you a text message and he said on a tweet, he realizes that he's somebody now. And so things that he says online and stuff matters. And what I was thinking was, well, that's a good realization, but why didn't he, what made him not see that before? And I wonder if it's because is there brand management per se in esports? Like, how would new players who become big
Okay.
eventually?
So first of all, I'll start off by saying, who the gets Punk the God? No, not my God. No, no, I'm joking. I mean, I'm not. I've heard the name several
Hmm.
times. I know what he looks like. I know he is a brown gentleman.
Hmm.
I know he tends to have a little bit of extra swag. And I know that's part of what makes him so big. But I think the part of the problem that a lot of, say, esports athletes or e-athletes are facing right now is that they're venturing out alone. It's
Mm.
them. You know, it's a team of three, me, myself, and I. And then you might have someone pop up and say, hey, let me help you out. But for the most part, it's them building their own brand. And so, and once they hit a certain stage, they don't realize that they are the potential LeBron, Kobe, Jordan of the game. And without really as and since they're all doing it individually, even if they're in like one of these teams that you hear about, like one of these houses or whatever, they're
So put
still
your
very
promo
much
time. Let's get it.
individuals.
First, I want to say I know you want
He
to say
kind
it,
of looked
Ray.
like my
Go ahead.
nephew a little bit.
Okay.
I mean,
That was
that's a
good one.
compliment to him.
And I won 20 bucks.
But
Come on,
but the
man.
thing is that
But you know, I just
you also don't see much of a individual brand when it comes to most individual e-athletes that's
Yo, how's
calls
everyone
out to
doing
people to support it.
today?
Mm.
But then when you get again unique players like Punk the guy here, they do stand out more. So they do draw in people. And I think that's how sometimes you think you're a part of this whole big group, like y'all all are just in it together. But then you have to remember that you're on the stage
You just
and they're
did
in the
your
crowd for a
finals?
reason.
Oh man, I hope you did
And
well,
so the
brother.
moment that you're on that
You're ranked on mine
stage
in
playing in
March
front of
6.
10, 20,
Number 1 now.
30,000
I
plus
ain't played
people,
it yesterday
you
or
are him.
Today, really.
Even if you hadn't really officially made it, but at the same
So it
time,
looks like I'll be the first
you
to
are
play
standing
today.
out
Let's go.
amongst your peers because you are so unique, because you are, black, and there aren't many of us, at that level.
I'm so full right now.
And
y'all don't
because you
understand,
know
bro. If I
you're
lose,
you're competing
blaming all my
and
L's
you're
on that.
you're
So
kind
I'm
of
not
really
full anymore.
out there.
Feel like I'm
So
still
and that draws people in. People want someone they can
bad
root
right
for.
now.
People want someone
So
they can have a poster of on their wall.
what I need.
And a lot of the players are so generic looking and boring that it's like, if I wanted to hang toast on my wall,
Yeah, how you
I
doing,
go
though,
make
fool?
my own toast.
Oh, yeah, it's moderate.
So, and that's why I feel like one of the things that, once I start to grow the A.G.L, one of the things I want to push for when it comes to individual brands and when it comes to e-athletes is kind of the same thing that pro wrestlers did. That pageantry, that look, the thing that draws people in. Stone Cold Steve Austin was just a regular guy who loved his beers, but he'd come in and crash them together and drink a sip or two and then march toward the stage and whoop some ass. And the thing is that made people so hyped because they felt like they could connect to that, but he was the turned up version of that. The Rock, his whole thing, part of what made, because he first came out, it was a little too outlandish, and he created an entire brand around not necessarily his arrogance, but his likability and being arrogant. Because like what's your favorite rapper or wrestler?
My
It
favorite.
doesn't matter what your favorite wrestler is. Because the only thing that matters is The Rock is the most electrifying, show-stopping performer to ever walk the WWE arenas, And so, just like you did that there, and I feel
No
like players like Punk the
way!
Guy, Sonic Fox, I don't know many. I'm not even gonna lie because most of their names really aren't worth cementing in my brain yet. They haven't earned that real estate yet.
Yo, Mega Xanax, thank you for the 8 months.
And again, it's not because they're not good at what they do. It's just they haven't stood out enough to, become that. Like I know basketball players because they become world known. They become household names. There are people in China who know Michael Jordan but never dribbled a ball a day in their life.
Y'all don't understand.
And so,
Like,
and it's
not
part of
even
it is because of how they stand out. And again, it doesn't have to be in outlandish ways. Allen Iverson keeps coming up he is a legendary basketball player, but as far as I know, I don't think he has a championship. Or he may, but he didn't play that long. And and he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I remember the whole thing about him getting kicked off his team because of practice. Practice? We talking practice. That's what he said. But yet no one has ever doubted his skills because of the swag and the presence that he had.
That's true.
Like there are people you want his name on your clothing, on your shoes, because he brings to your power. And right now we have a whole bunch of sideline characters pretending to be Goku, and it just ain't working. But there are a few that do stand out.
I don't even play basketball, and if I could get something that said Allen Iverson on it, I'd do it.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
point.
got lucky. Why he didn't super? Why he didn't super?
And again, and it's not to disrespect the people who are really
See,
out
it's
here
okay.
doing
That's
it, because
karma.
right now
I was supposed to
they
win
very
anyway.
much are the pioneers of the esports
That's just
world.
karma. It's not
They're
even
right
like
now,
I got
they're
lucky
getting the
because he got lucky. So he
least
can't really
amount
say I
of
got
respect
lucky.
and
'cause he would
pay
have
for
to
what they
admit to
do
getting lucky
that
himself.
any
Except
e-athlete
Bill,
will
or
receive,
That's true.
because they're building something. But the thing is the
I
community
don't know how the hell you
around
super
them
not come out
has
on
to be
modern,
willing
though.
to invest in them and build the community they want to be a part of. Part of that, I'm hoping, starts with the A.G.L.
version.
I kind of want to be the NRA
The
for
modern
gamers
version.
because, again, having season passes before you've released the game is a joke. And then the thing is, if we want to talk about on a competitive level, how can you really compete in something when you don't know what your options are when you're currently competing? Could you imagine playing a basketball game with half a basketball and then, you'll get the rest of it a few months from now?
Yeah.
Could you imagine playing football on half a football field and you can download the rest for $10.99 a month from later? Like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Like if you play Madden right now, you get all the teams that are currently in the NFL. If you play any yearly release hockey game, you get all the current teams in the NHL. But you play any fighting game right now, any first-person shooter game right now, games that have been out for decades and have built up rosters are not giving you all your characters. Mortal Kombat 1 gives you half the characters.
Bro,
we got twice as many characters.
Like, they reactions
half
are
of them you
not
can't
that
even play
good.
with.
Like, I know people be scared to DR modern, but
And
y'all
then
see
at the
me
end
do
of
it all
it,
the time, bro.
The game just
You just gotta
it
know.
wasn't
Like,
worth
I
it.
know
I bought the collector's
when
edition.
they're not
I
thinking
bought
about
the season
React
pass.
at all. It's only two
I
buttons,
stopped playing
but
it
I
before
know
any
that
of
they're
the new
not
characters
thinking
came
about
out.
it.
Wow.
Y'all
I
see
see
me
the
do it all
releases,
the
I see the
time.
commercials,
There's very low-key more classic
Thank you for
people
selling
have
me back
reacted
something
to
that
my
I already
DR
had.
than modern. Like, I really can tell
Yay.
when a modern player is just
I
not going
tune
to
in
do
to
it.
play
Like,
Omni-Man
because they
one
can't
day.
believe you're going to do it to
When
them.
I put it in
I
to play with
understand.
some random person who's like, "Oh, I used to play this," and I'm like, "Oh shit,
I know
got
exactly what they be
Omni-Man."
thinking, bro. I mean,
That's how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
But what's not gonna happen is me putting it in right now and
see,
being like,
Carl
"Let
will be
me
back.
practice,
You don't got no
let me
points,
put
though.
in the work, let me become,
I
better
had
at
to try my
this."
hardest today
I mean,
now.
because it's just me doing it alone doesn't really inspire me to do that. You'll find professional gamers doing it, and honestly, that's a big part of what keeps, I feel like, the FGC going right now. The fighting game circuit as a whole is kind of
Yeah.
but fighting games in general need
What?
the FGC, and that's
Bro,
why you
I'm
find
telling y'all,
Capcom tournaments,
Fucking
Taken
food is
tournaments,
literally
SNK tournaments,
making me drop
because they
this
know
shit,
without
brother.
those, the games themselves, they die off because you're only selling us a fraction of what we already
I'm gonna
bought.
just keep mashing
And when
at
you
this
put
rate, 'cause
things
like
behind
we're dead.
paywalls like that, you slow down the momentum. I can barely play with the friends I have locally, so it dies on the shelf.
Really valuable points, like super poignant points, because I've stopped playing Street Fighter 6.
Nice.
I think due to just getting older and having other things I'm doing. But even when I have time, I don't really get into Street Fighter 6 like that. And now I'm excited a little bit with the Akuma thing, but I wonder how quickly that's gonna drop off.
Well, like I said, I'm glad you see that I've
Like, come on,
dropped some
brother.
valuable
You got what's
points
going
and some knowledge.
That's not even
But
like,
like
you
I
can
said,
blame
I'm
Candy
trying to
Brand. Like, you
change
tried to anti-your
the
motherfucker that was
gaming
literally
world
over
like
here.
Kanye did music.
That's not even.
You think I'm playing when I'm not playing.
Anything.
I
That would have
believe.
been happened to any character. Yo,
So
Z's
how
Nut, thank
can
you for the
people follow you
42
to
months, bro.
to find out what you're doing
Yeah, I
on
gave him
YouTube? You
literally
brought up a
48
number of
hours
points
to
here
catch
to
up,
kind
and
of
I'm
address,
back at
but
first
can't,
in literally
catch
2
everything in this
seconds.
episode.
I'm working on that right now.
Oh.
I mean, so you know, I'll give updates as I continue to grow that because again, right now it's a one man show.
Hmm.
I'm trying to build something for my community first, and then hopefully it grows. You know, but
Bro,
definitely,
why
you
couldn't
know,
she get you that
I'm
high?
putting it out there. You know, I'm working on the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get streamers for the Twitch channel. We got the Instagram up, but not running yet. You know, so we're working on our socials and building all the stuff we can first. But then once we get
I
all of
probably
that
could've
kind of
started.
cemented, then we'll start trying to create events and build from there.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Teddy, for dropping that knowledge, that wisdom from I don't know from where. From
Oh, we in Arkansas. I
Oh,
mean,
bro.
it is what it is.
Doesn't
We
change up the
building
way
it
you
up.
play, bro.
You know,
Well,
from
Didn't I
the
tell y'all
great,
this last time? All he does
fit
perfect
straddling
parry,
state.
backdash, and tech grab.
well, I guess
I
I was
exposed
reading,
him last time we
from
played, and he still hasn't
I don't know
like,
from on high.
so
From,
annoying, dude.
Oh, because you trying to respect my swagger.
well, yeah,
Confirms
but
these.
it's like it's really pointing and stuff. Like it's really
Give me my
really
points.
good talking points from things that people when we hear we
Like in
recognize.
Japan, they'll do
but it's
anything
been-
but
I've been
block.
in
Like I
this
thought
game
they gonna
25
block.
plus
People in
years.
America definitely block more than
I feel like
Japanese
we're
players. In
still
this game, they'll do
behind
anything
in
but
some
block.
ways. There's
Perfect
been a
parry,
lot of progress,
backdash, tech
but
throw,
there's
jump
still
out the
so
corner,
much that
never
can be
hold down
done
back, never,
in more
ever,
games,
ever,
you know?
ever,
So,
ever, bro.
yeah.
And that's why
Well, I
these
mean,
niggas
a
keep
big
getting
part of
washed,
that, though,
bro.
Skyryuu, is that
All they do is fucking
again,
panic.
nobody
on
wants
defense.
to be
Just
the
block
first.
sometimes, brother.
Nobody wants to be
Please.
laughed at, and nobody wants to be kind of like outed.
Yo, Shiro, thank you
So
for the
no
tier
one's
1.
willing
Welcome
to
the
kind of
Alpha
put
Academy.
themselves
Appreciate
out there and
that.
say this is what needs to be done. Respect me for my craft. You know, be present and put in the work. Again, we keep looking at it like it's just a hobby, and basketball started out as a hobby, skateboarding started out as a hobby, but now they're out here changing lives. And so inevitably video games, you know, is kind of following that same route, and we have to treat it as such.
Well, there you have it. Okay. Thanks so much, Teddy. That's the end of the. So we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah,
It's been
bro.
fun.
Nah, bro. Jalen
enjoy
Brunson
lunch.
killed the.
Hey, I was
He a
about
free
to
throw
say
merchant,
that.
though. He get
Yeah.
all the calls that they
Alright, see you
banned in the
guys.
NBA that Trey Young don't get no more.
But nah, that worked.
He's